You know, when I interviewed Kevin Winslow from Meg a few years ago about dabbing for a story I did for Healthline, he said, sick people don't do dabs. He didn't feel that concentrate should be part of the Illinois medical cannabis program. And I wrote a story about dabbing that was very stigmatizing, and the medical marijuana community and the marijuana community in general got very upset with me. Anyway, I'm here to tell you, Kevin Winslow, yeah, medical cannabis patients do dabs. I got to tell you, like I said, I've never been able to master the honey dripper nectar collector thing. I'm dabbing that Durban poison this morning and feeling pretty good. I know I do look pretty stoned. I can only see myself for the first time this morning as I look at this, but I feel pretty darn good, and I found it! The Quad City Times ethnography, which is famous to all newsroom employees of 1990 at the beloved Quad City Times. So here I go. I'm going to read it. The ethnography of a newsroom, the Tri City Gazette. I got an A. This is a story. Oh, this was written at Augustana College for a anthropology class. This is a story about the people who work in the newsroom of a medium-sized daily newspaper in the Midwest. The name of the paper and its employees are fictitious. Nearly 100 part-time and full-time employees work in the newsroom of the Tri City Gazette. Well, once upon a time. I've been observing these people for a little more than 3 years. I came to the Gazette in 1987 when I was a senior in high school. I worked in the sports department as a sports copy clerk, coding agate. Yeah, I'm sure nobody knows what that is now. Information that appears on the statistics scoreboard pages. Writing short stories and taking in sports scores on the telephone. A year later, I became a newsroom clerk and part-time reporter. What I have observed is a group of people who seem to be very insecure about their abilities. They are constantly seeking affirmation of their talents, which might be why they are in journalism, like theater jobs and other occupations which put an employee in the public eye. Each day brings either praise or criticism, depending on the quality of the product. They say you're only as good as your last story. The personality traits of the people who work at the Gazette are strikingly similar. Most of them can be happy one day and depressed the next. It depends on the acknowledgement they receive that day. One reporter released a bonnet, describes the typical day. I get in here at about 10 a.m., which might sound late, but not, considering the fact until I worked until 10 p.m. the night before. Then, depending on whether or not I'm on cops, I do rounds and head for City Hall. Usually I come back with nothing, and it was a big waste of time, but I have to go just in case. Then I begin to work on long-range stories before heading to a meeting or two around 5 p.m. Then I have to come back and write 2 or 3 stories from the meeting, which takes an hour or two, and by 10 p.m., I'm finally out of here. I asked Bonnet when the last time she had a front-page story was. She answered, oh, I don't know. It has been almost a month because nothing exciting ever goes on, and I'm not even going to incriminate the reporter and say the city. It's a boring beat. Oh, honey, you must not have been digging hard enough. It's not unusual for the reporters to work 12 hours a day, 5 days a week. We do it because we like the business, I guess, says Sharina Bustoma, the Moline, East Moline reporter. I can't really bitch about it. I think it's exciting, and I've been on the same beat for almost 5 years. I asked Bustoma when the last time she had a front page story. She said, today, didn't you see it? It was the second darkest headline on the page. It was about the new condominium development, and I won't say the city. Well, East Moline. East Moline. Bustoma and Bonnet aren't in agreement about their employee experiences at the Tri City Gazette. Bonnet says she feels like she isn't listened to. I complain about something and they act like they're listening, but then nothing is ever done. Bustoma says she has no major gripes. I don't know. I go out there, do my job, get the stories, and go home. It's all in a day's work. 2 weeks after I first talked to Bonnet and Bustoma, they seem to have changed their attitudes. To be continued. The ethnography of a newsroom. The Tri City Gazette.